Hey, I have a secret to tell you. Shh, don't tell anyone else. We have looked at relationships and we've assessed and concluded that relationships thrive best when two people love each other, where there is mutual respect, and where is a ton load of compromise. And while that is true, some research that I've done recently shows that there's another ingredient that needs to be added. Note I said added to what has been discovered. And that is admiration. I've researched, and you know I'm a research junkie, researching not just in books, in terms of talking to individuals. Couples who have been married for 40 plus years was the population that I felt would give me the answers that I needed without compromise. And what I've found in talking to them and in observation, I think it is something that is paying attention to, and that's admiration. Now, admiration, watching your spouse, your person, be celebrated, moving up in the professional space, doing really, really good, and sitting in the audience, whether that is a real audience or just watching. And inside of you is just so much admiration. Not envy, not contempt, not a feeling that your person is a hypocrite because they don't do this and this and this, or something rises up inside of you that says, if they only knew exactly who he was or who she was at home. But being able to sit in a space and allow what is happening to happen, and to sincerely admire and support. That is the secret sauce. The admiration. It's not competitive. It is not envious. It is not being measured based on what you can do and what you can't do. You may be amazing. In fact, you might be more amazing in terms of what you do and your professional, academic achievements. But in that moment, it has nothing to do with you. But that sense of pleasure that you feel really deep down in the city of your sanctified soul, that you feel this thing. Being able to be, it's not just supportive, but I'm talking about not being on the same stage, not being in the same platform, not getting any of the accolades, but still standing back, allowing them to do what they do and admiring it. Let me give you a quick story before I go. Back in the day, when I traveled sometimes, and this rarely happened, but on this occasion it happened. I was in a country and I was just staying overnight in transit. I wanted to see these two amazing people, this couple. They've been married at that point for about 48 years. They were married for about 48 years. And we were sitting in the living room and the wife says, just out of the blue, "Baby, tell Pastor Cheryl about the time that you did blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "Nah, she wouldn't want to hear it." He's like, "Yeah, she want to hear that." I'm sitting there because I have a weird awful, horrible sense of humor. I mean, I laugh at things that people don't laugh at. And comedy, I have to kind of go over in my head like 10 times because I'm really, really logical and it doesn't hit, and I don't have a funny bone. So now I'm tense because I'm like, okay, let me get my laugh out because whether it's good or bad, I need to laugh. So she said, come on. And he, kind of said, all right, I'll tell her. And he's telling me the joke. And I look at her and oh my gosh, the level, I can picture it now, although this has been probably about 20 plus years ago. The sense of admiration. She was laughing before the joke was finished. And as he is talking, he's not looking at me, the person who he's telling the joke to. He's looking at her, and she, without saying anything, seemed to be egging him on, like, that's funny. And I don't think the joke was funny, but I did laugh because I had to in that moment. And y'all, don't judge me. I'm just not, humor just goes over my head. It's that, and then after he was done, she said, what about the one about blah, 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 blah? And he's super excited. And I think for a moment, even if I was not there, they would have had the same interaction. And what I saw was not forced. What I saw was not something that was conjured up to entertain their guests. It was a sincere and genuine admiration. This was not her husband, building a huge building or a speaker or a singer or whatever. She admired the man that he is, the man he was, because he passed away. And I've seen that not just with a woman. I've seen the husband in one of the couples that I interviewed. And it's not just, so it's a phenomenological study, and that means it's their way of life and the way that they lived. So this is not them performing. I'm not watching. I'm listening to what they're saying, but I'm really watching how they live. And I saw the wife walk into the room, and this person is a huge person. He is involved in ministry, but he's involved in ministry at a very high level, own jet and all that other stuff. And his wife comes into the room, and he's talking to everyone who's in the room. She walks in with me because she was doing we were doing a conference together. She walks in with me, and he stops, and he still he stops and he looks at her. And he's still having this conversation. But this man, who at the time was 70 something, married for 40 plus years, a sense of admiration. I feel that's how Jacob looked at Rachel. A sense of admiration, a sense of forgetting everybody in the room and just admiring. And he looked at, from her feet, what she was wearing, all the way to the top. He folded his arms and then rocked back a little bit and looked at her. And then, neither of them recognizing that this is that they were being observed. And then later on, I asked him, why? He says, I like her. I admire her. So the secret sauce that I would like you to try to implement in your relationship is appreciation, admiration, not appreciation, admiration. If you're with someone that you admire, you're married to someone that you admire, you're way ahead of the crowd. If you're dating someone that you don't admire, don't go into marriage. And if you're married and you don't admire that person, there's still hope for you.